Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Dispatch Fleet Edition, your monthly look at the stories shaping government fleets. September gave us a mix of practical tools, emerging tech, and real world pilots that showed where things are headed. Let's start with something that every fleet manager knows about, but maybe doesn't revisit enough, which is key performance indicators or KPIs. KPIs aren't just numbers, they're how you measure whether your strategy is actually working. But the important part is aligning them with clear goals. Are you trying to cut downtime, lower fuel cost, stretch vehicle life? These goals drive the metrics you should track. And the big six to focus on: cost control and budget adherence, know your total cost of ownership, not just the line items. Maintenance and downtime, PM compliance rates, and repair turnover matter here. Optimal replacement, which is figuring out that sweet spot before repair costs outweigh value. Fuel efficiency, which is tracking both usage and exceptions like potential theft. Compliance and inspections, daily checks to stay audit ready. Safety and driver behavior, things like speeding or harsh braking. Digital fleet solutions make these easier to monitor, but even without fancy software, the message is pick the right KPIs, tie them to your objectives, and use them as tools, not just numbers on a report. Now let's move to something that's getting a lot of attention, which is artificial intelligence and total cost of ownership analysts. For years, smaller fleets have been stuck with spreadsheets and gut instinct, while larger fleets had analysts and software. That gap meant inefficiencies and wasted dollars. AI is now changing that. It can pull in maintenance records, downtime, fuel use, and warranty data, then actually predict when costs are about to spike or when it's time to replace the vehicle. It's a huge shift from reactive to proactive. And the numbers are telling. Surveys show that over 40% of fleet pros are already using AI tools, and another third are already looking at adopting within a year. Some fleets are seeing efficiency improvements of 8 to 15%, and for small fleets, that's a game changer. Now let's talk about something less flashy, but just as critical: the fleet garage. A well-designed facility isn't just a building, it's a tool. Think workflow efficiency, part security, and spaces that support safety and productivity. Questions like, do you need heavy or light-duty bays? What about space for wheeling, paint, or tire storage? Then there's planning for the future. With EVs and automation coming, garages need changing capacity, space for electronics repair, and layouts that can evolve. Even social factors come in, like making facilities more welcoming for a changing workforce. So the bottom line is the garage you build today has to serve both current needs and what's coming 10, 20 years down the road. Next up, we've got GPS and telematics, or as one fleet veteran put it, the ultimate example of penny wise, dollar foolish. If you're not using GPS by now, you're flying behind. It's one of the fastest returns on investment in fleet management, according to our article. Inventory vehicles, monitoring utilization, optimizing routes, it's all faster and more accurate with GPS. And when emergencies hit, like the subway bombing in New York City years back, real-time deployment data makes the difference between an efficient response and dangerous congestion. There's also life cycle management. GPS data helps track usage patterns and replacement needs, so you're not keeping vehicles too long or replacing too soon. It even holds up in court when liability is on the line. So it may not be glamorous, but the payback is massive, both in dollars and in safety. We're going to talk about electrification. Austin, Texas just launched its first police EV pilot. They're starting with 2 EV patrol vehicles scheduled to enter service in 2026. But these aren't just stock EVs. They're upfitted with reinforced harnesses, high-capacity modules to handle emergency equipment loads, and full officer training programs. Training is a big part of this pilot. Officers are learning EV handling, regenerative braking, charging protocols, and emergency response procedures. And the city is tracking everything from pursuit capability to durability, ergonomics, and cost savings compared to gas units. The bigger picture: Austin is aiming for net zero emissions by 2040, and this pilot is a step toward that. Small numbers now, but a test case for what could scale later. And they're not alone. Sterling Heights, Michigan has its own EV pilot already on the road. We talked a little bit about this at the beginning of the year, but their first Blazer EV PPV is in daily patrol use, one of the first pursuit-rated EVs in Michigan. And unlike many agencies that keep EVs in admin roles, Sterling Heights is putting theirs right into patrol duty. The early results are lower emissions, strong officer feedback, and public support. Maintenance needs have been light so far, and the city expects cost savings down the line. They've already ordered another EV and are weighing broader expansion once charging infrastructure is ready. It's a real world test of whether EVs can meet the demands of 24/7 policing, and so far the signs are positive. So that's it for our September wrap up in a nutshell: KPIs, AI, garages, GPS, and two police departments putting EVs through their paces. What strikes me is the balance. We're seeing big picture technology like AI and EVs, but also the fundamentals like KPIs, facility design, and GPS that are just as important. It's a reminder that progress in fleet isn't just about the next new thing, it's about sharpening the tools we already have while testing the tools we're going to need. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of these stories hit home for you? Maybe you're tracking new KPIs, maybe you're exploring EVs, or maybe you've got a garage upgrade on the horizon. So drop a comment and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for tuning in to the Dispatch Fleet Edition. I'll be back next month with more stories shaping government fleets. Until then, keep those wheels turning.